I'm Dave Mercer.
And I'm Matt Pangrac.
Welcome to the Cull, a weekly sport fishing debate show. And this week we want to talk about kind of a hot topic. Our good buddy Travis Manson got DQ'd from a tournament. He was appalled because he was fishing off a ladder and he didn't think he should have got disqualified for that. So what say you, Matt Pangrac? Should anglers be allowed to fish off ladders?
How is this? I'm confused. How is this even a rule? Is this one of those Roland Martin rules from back in the days?
I think it is. Yeah, I think that's actually exactly where this rule came from. We're talking about
strapping a ladder during any time to, whether it's sight fishing to gain a higher perch, so to speak, and you climb up on the ladder and then you fish off the ladder like they do in the flats to see the redfish.
Yeah.
And it's illegal in tournament competition to have a ladder. Now, in Travis's defense, he was doing it in practice for a local event.
We're talking
Didn't
about
think
practice.
It was illegal in practice. Yes, it was illegal in practice. That led to it, but that opened up the discussion. What are your thoughts on this? You're up in the land of the ladders.
I mean, I get why the rule is there because every rule, it's the same reason why you can't store gas somewhere. You know what I mean? That's a rule in bass because you would see, well, as I've said many times, these are the best at it, and then they make an adjustment. They go to a higher level than anybody else, meaning that we would have, like South Dakota, we'd still have barrels of gas waiting on the side of the shore from the last time we were there if that was allowed. Ladders, the same sort of situation. I think a platform like they do on the flats is one thing. That's a built-in section of the boat. But when you say you're allowed to build a platform, a lot of these platforms were not safe. But I do understand that, like everything at Bass, they always talk about parity and, you used to have to weigh all your tackle to go to the Classic and everything to make it. And there is no parity in height. I mean, Jason Christie's always going to have an advantage over Brandon Palnick. So my whole thing, and I've mentioned this a few times on Bass Live, and it's time to make it happen. We need disco boots in bass fishing, dude. They can't tell you what shoes to wear. Don't worry about your ladder. Just show up looking like Kiss in the morning. I could see Travis Manson rocking those giant booties walking down there. You've got a huge advantage. Nobody can tell you what to wear on your feet. Disco boots will save all. Who needs a ladder when your ladder is on your feet? That is my take.
Oh, didn't we see Wes Logan and guys climbing, literally standing on their graphs?
Yeah.
Sight fishing. But isn't it also a rule that you can't stand on your motor cowling?
Motor cowling you cannot, but you can stand on your graphs.
So who decides what you can and can't stand on in the boat? Because the motor is obviously part of the boat and the graphs are an add-on to the boat. So why is it okay to stand on the graphs but not the motor cowling?
As every single tournament says, there's that one rule that trumps everything. It is at the tournament director's discretion. They had decided at some point that motors weren't, because I remember Ike and Ellie climbing on his motor a bunch, stuff like that. Yeah. And I think that's why motors became not a thing. It amazes me the amount of dudes that are crawling on top of thousands of dollars of graphs. It amazes me that more people aren't freaking out about that. And I also think we are about 2 weeks away from some company introducing a brand new graph stand at iCast. And it'll actually be a ladder just
you
to
can
climb
walk
to the top.
Well, so what's keeping you from shimmying up the power pole?
I guess you could if you wanted to.
Little climbing things on the power pole. I'm mixed on this one, Dave. I don't know. I mean, I feel like it's another tool, just like a flogger is. Floggers are legal. Why aren't ladders legal? Why are you allowed to take a cone and see under the water visually, but not allowed to take 3 steps up and see above the water visually, or vice versa? I think it would have to come down to safety. And the more I think about this, I think it's safety, because listen, you are way less likely to get injured while you're way less likely. I guess I have to finish the sentence. To get injured while flogging than you are while climbing. And you're on the water, you fall off a ladder, you're likely to hit your head, something could happen, the ladder's got to fly off. From a safety issue, probably the same reason they don't want you climbing on the motor. You fall off, you've got the prop right there, you're in the water, it's safety. Both you and I have talked about safety, so I'm, whatever the original question was, I'm for keeping it the way it is or culling the use of ladders. How about you?
I agree. I'm for getting rid of ladders. I don't know why Travis Manson thought that he could do that. I mean, I get it. And that's the whole thing. Like what Travis just proved is what every top level pro is. They try to find an advantage in every single way, whether it's just a bait color or whatever. But the negative of ladders and platforms being built on people's boats, whether it be a cooler or whatever, other people are watching. They're going to start doing that same stuff, and they're not going to do it the same way. I mean, I really think that eventually it'll be illegal to climb on your graphs, and so it should be. In today's world where nobody can get a freaking graph, I think it looks horrible that you have anglers standing on top of $9,000 worth of graphs. So I don't think you should be able to climb. I think everybody should have the same thing, and all of this gets fixed with one thing. Disco boots. I'm telling you, Panger, we can make iCast Best of Show is wide open if me and you put our heads together and get some disco boots.
They're called platforms, not disco.
Well, I mean, call them what you want.
You go to the disco in the platforms.
Okay, platforms. Okay, fine.
I think so. Maybe there were disco boots back in. Maybe that's a Canadian thing.
Maybe. I don't know.
Is that what you guys ride your snowmobiles in? The disco boots?
But that's very like a snowmobiles, really. Snowmobiles have studs on the bottom. It's got nothing to do with your boots, your hand heaters. It's all a good experience.
Oh, you don't have a gas thing. That's all hands.
Yeah. It's all you actually press a little button and you have hand heaters on your snowmobile. Wow.
I like it though. I think you got something there. You can buy like the 3-inch version, the 5-inch version, the 12-inch version.
Yeah. I mean, maybe
sponsor logos all over the soles.
Yes. I'm telling you, look, think of that unsold inventory. Wes Logan gets so much more inventory if he just adds, a foot and a half of
they couldn't do anything.
Platform booty. No.
You just throw them in the box along with the motorcycle helmet and the extra life jacket. And when you see a bed, put them on.
Howdy down there. How are you? You're not breaking a rule. I mean, you're
really onto something.
I think I am. I think we shouldn't talk about it on this show. We should introduce it at iCast. Platform sight fishing shoes. Ladders on boats. You've heard our take on it. We've gone to snowmobiles and all sorts of weirdness. But let us know. Do you like the current rules where you're not allowed a platform or a ladder? Keep or cull the current rules. I'm saying keep them.